Hello everyone, Dr. Polaris here. During the Miocene, Felids began to experience their first major radiation. Genetic testing carried out on the remains of the Pleistocene genus Homotherium suggests that the Machairodontines are among the first groups to diverge approximately 23 million years ago. Commonly referred to as the saber-toothed cat due to their enlarged blade-like upper canines, these carnivores appear to have evolved in Afro-Eurasia, where the oldest known specimens have been found. Phylogenetic studies have found the clade Metailurini to be among the most basal Machairodontines, along with the small and lynx-sized Dagger that was unsurprisingly native to Late Miocene Chad. The Metailurins are generally quite modest and lightly built when compared to the significantly larger and more derived forms such as Smilodon and Xenosmilus. Their upper canines, while proportionally longer than those of any modern felid, were still rather conical and lacked the flattened cutting edges of certain later members of Machairodontinae. Their tails were also quite elongated. This would have allowed the Metailurins to hunt in a manner more similar to that of modern pantherine cats, lunging out of the undergrowth and dispatching prey with a clamping bite to the throat. Despite their basal position among the saber-toothed cats, Metailurin fossils are only known from the late Miocene onwards, suggesting a ghost lineage leading back to at least 18 million years ago, when the different lineages of Machairodontines are thought to have diverged. Regardless, the group achieved a wide range, inhabiting forested and savannah ecosystems in Africa, Eurasia and North America, surviving into the early Pleistocene. 5 genera have been described and named, with the oldest of these appearing in Eurasia and North America approximately 10 million years ago. Adelphailurus was a slender, cougar-sized genus native to the southwestern United States, being an ambush hunter of camelids and pronghorns. A successful animal, Adelphailurus persisted for 5 million years in the warm savannas of Texas, New Mexico and Arizona. A similar genus, Stenailurus, was native to Spain at about the same time. A rather different and more specialized form was also present in Eurasia during the late Miocene. This was the genus Yoshi. The head of the team that wrote up the initial paper on this animal named the predator after their own pet cat, explaining the odd genus name, which sadly has nothing to do with Nintendo. Described on the basis of a well-preserved skull, this cat was superficially cheetah-like both in terms of size and ecological niche. The skull was short, deep and rounded, with expanded nasal openings indicative of an active and fast-running method of predation. The upper canines, while prominent when compared to living felids, were still quite conical in shape and lacked serrated edges, with the animal employing a choking bite to the throat in order to disable prey. 2 species are known, with these being the Macedonian Yoshi garaveskii and the Chinese Yoshi minor. This type of lean, fast-running predatory niche would not be exploited by the Machairodontines again, being another example of the sheer diversity of the saber-toothed cats, and about as different from the massive Smilodon populator as it is possible to be. A later and significantly more well-known Metailurin was the genus Dinofelis, an animal featured as a major predator of Australopithecus in the 4th episode of Walking with Beasts. This was the largest of the Metailurins, being a stocky, jaguar-sized ambush predator with a robust build. Dinofelis first appears in the fossil record roughly 5 million years ago in early Pliocene-aged rocks in Africa and Europe, although additional older remains that might be attributable to this genus have been found in the Lothagam Formation of late Miocene Kenya. Due to this cat's robust forelimbs and heavy build, it has been suggested to have preferred either forested or partially forested habitats, and likely possessed a striped or spotted coat. In addition to its enlarged upper canines, Dinofelis also sported powerful lower canines as well, although the molars were significantly smaller than those of living pantherine cats. This suggests that the canines were the main tool utilised to immobilise prey. A wide-ranging genus, up to 8 species have been described across Africa, Eurasia and North America. However, the majority of these were native to Africa, where Dinofelis appears to have been most common, with the youngest known species, D. pivotoi, persisted into the early Pleistocene in South Africa. At the Swartkrans cave site in the same country, remains of this species have been recovered in good condition, and were later subjected to carbon isotope analysis, which revealed a diet composed mostly of grazing animals. While other fossil sites in South Africa do indicate that Dinofelis preyed on both baboons and hominids such as Australopithecus africanus, this would appear to have been a rather rare occurrence, with leopards and the Smilodontin meganterion being the primary predators of our ancient ancestors. Dinofelis became extinct approximately 1.2 million years ago, likely due to the drying Pleistocene climatic trends reducing its favoured forested habitats. The sister genus of Dinofelis was the slender and relatively unspecialized Metailurus. Like its bulkier close relative, this animal was native to Africa, Eurasia and North America between the Late Miocene and the Early Pleistocene. A long-legged ambush hunter, Metailurus was rather cougar-like in appearance, with a relatively long tail, comparatively short face and stout upper canines. The proportions of the hind limbs indicate a strong leaping ability, suggesting that this cat hunted by stealth before pouncing on its unfortunate prey. Metailurus was generally smaller than Dinofelis, being about the size of a large leopard, with up to 4 known species. As with its sister genus, Metailurus died out across its range during the early Pleistocene, probably as a result of cooling and drying trends that took place at this time. As a whole, members of Metailurini seem to have preferred either forested or savannah woodland ecosystems, and were adversely affected by the continued spread of open grasslands. After the extinction of this group, cheetahs, cougars and leopards increasingly moved into their vacated niches, a position which these cats still hold today. Thanks for watching everyone. If you'd like to support my channel then feel free to head over to my Patreon page, where you can gain early access to my content as well as other perks. The next video will cover the basal members of Metailurus, so until then I'll see you again soon. Cheerio.